Buddy, why don't you tell me the most famous hunting story of all time?
Nobody likes a name drop. Yeah, it was the Herald night before the opener, and I was Kendall Jones, and I get into the Dr. Grant Woods. It was my alarm clock was John Dudley, so I slept right through the morning sit and woke up Tiff Lakoski'd. There's nothing I could do though, so I grabbed a couple Travis T-bones and throw them on the Bear grills, poured myself a cold Greg Miller Light, threw my reel tree in the Troy laundry, and Nate hosied off my boots, and by that time it was about ready to Levi Morgan. Got into the stand. It was a Taylor Drury day, a bit like today, and I didn't have a whole lot of action until I had an Adam LaRoche climb my leg and try to bite my Willie Robertson. Had a couple Cody Robbins and a Dean Partridge rustling up the leaves, and at that point I was just happy to be watching the Randy Bird songs. I grabbed my binos and was Brittany glazing when I heard a Chris Brackett across the field huddle. Sure enough, out steps Colorado Buck, and he was a giant. I almost dropped a Ted Nugent, my Cam Haines. Anyway, he came across the field, stepped into my Chris Lane. I gave him that bap and stopped him in his Adam Treadwell. Took a deep breath, tried to slow my pulse a little bit, and drew my Bo Jackson. Just Matt Duffed him. He took off running right into the Jackie Bushman, but I couldn't Sean luck till how bad he was hit. I found a little bit of blood, but was Eva Shockey. There wasn't Tony Vandermoor. I was a little bit nervous as this was going to turn into a Bruce Horrell story. So I followed my gut and that little bit of blood we found, and came right to a Stillwater pond. I Michael Waddelled across there, and it smelled a little Jeff Danker in that swamp. Felt like the Bill Jordan River, but then again there was a Teresa Vale of fog, so it's hard to tell. I ended up spook spawning him out from behind a beaver Kevin Van Dam and decided Melissa Bachman out of there. I don't know what got into me. I guess I was picturing him on the Dan Wallace, but to be Luke Fair, I thought I heard him crash. At that point, Mike pulls up and Hank Parker's the truck and gets out all Chipper Jones. I told him to relax because we were heading back to the camp for a bit. My nerves are right on the Greg Ritz, so I poured myself a David Blanton's on the rocks, but we consider ourselves good Brad Christians, so we resist the temptation to light up the Casey Kiefer. Kids, I never touch the stand pots, all right, no matter how stressed I am. Anyways, we head back a couple hours later. I'm right ready to give up, but Mike's Bound and Tim Brent were going to find this deer, and sure enough, he grabs me by the arm, gives me the old Babe Winkleman. I let out a big Cy Robertson relief because I knew it was over, and busted right into my big buck downbill dance. Anyways, I was so fired up I could have candy kiskied him. And there was not an ounce of ground shrinkage on this buck either. It took 3 of us to get him in the back of the Colt Ford. As we pulled out of there and hit the Eric roads, it occurred to me that this might have been the best hunt I'd ever's been on. And that's why we call it the most famous hunting story ever told. So if you take your hunting seriously and yourself lightly, join the fellowship. Follow us here. It's the funniest brand in hunting. Mikey, did I ever tell you the story about that 6-pound rainbow Mike Trout I caught Mike Fisher in Joe, Montana?